What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? This is Fasting is Life, and I'm back again with another awesome video. And today's topic is gonna be Halloween. Hopefully, you are enjoying this little animation that I have on the screen to gonna get you in the mood for this interesting holiday that's celebrated all over the world. A lot of people they celebrate festivity because it looks fun and stuff like that, but they have no idea of its origin, right? So on today's show, I'm gonna be giving you a little bit of background history about Halloween, and we're gonna dive in deep. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into. You can be ignorant. Like the scripture says, you can be ignorant. Now, some people may oh, fasting. Why are you talking about it? I'm like, well, once upon a time, I participated in this holiday. And watch this. The main reason back then, years ago, girls. It's the one day out of the year where girls, women are allowed to dress any way they want to without getting and you can interact with them. You can say anything you want without getting what? Me too. I know you guys are like, what? Yeah. I'm giving you a little bit of background story, so you guys can have an idea. Uh, you know, the years back while I participate, it's like I'm not gonna do all the crazy stuff. I'm just gonna, use this day to go out there and hunt. As a guy, a lot of guys who are probably listening to this, they understand what I mean, right? But then as I mature, I was like, nah, it's not even worth it to participate in these satanic holidays. So people are like, what do you mean satanic? You're gonna find out today. Let me show you more pictures. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, I'm just showing different Halloween images, like the pumpkin. It says Halloween on it, and I'm showing right now like some people are in costumes. This one I'm showing a group of ladies wearing the Ghostbuster movie that came out costume, and then I got one that has the joke character, the princess from Aladdin, and was Finding Nemo. And here's one final picture. Is a family. The child is dressed as the wolf, and the father is dressed as Zorro, and the mom, I guess she's just dressed like a princess, whatever. So yeah, yep. I'm just showing you stuff, but let's see. I think this one is better as I read, so you guys can have an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, let me put the banner so people who come in can have an idea what the show is about. All right, Halloween. Let me read you the history. I have a book with me. It's called Pagan Book of Days. That basically lists you all the famous pagan holidays from all over the world. It's very interesting. It tells you days of the year and the origin of the holidays, what's on it, and it show you some days don't have any holidays or anything, any festivities from back in ancient times. So we're about to dive in deep to this. So let's get to it. All right, Halloween or Halloween, a contraction of All Hallows Evening, also known as Allah Halloween, All Saints Eve, is a celebration observed in many countries on 31st October, the eve of the Western Christian feast of All Hallows Day. So the information here is telling you that Halloween is based on Christianity, right? But if you ask a person, okay, it's based on Christianity, right? Show me this holiday in the Bible. They won't be able to show you. So the question is, who what is really Halloween, right? So let me dive in because this is I'm reading this from Wikipedia. So I have books here, but there's so many books I don't want to take too much time. I don't want this video to be hours long because there's going to be a lot of information. I just want to go straight to the point, right? It says it begins the observance of All Hallowtide, and it says All Hallowtide is the Western Christian season encompassing the Triduum of All Saints Eve, All Saints Day, and All Souls Days, as well as the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church and Remembrance Sunday in some tradition. And it says the time in the liturgical, or was it liturgical year dedicated to remembering the dead. And it's interesting because tomorrow, the Mexicans, it's a holiday in Mexico called the Day of the Dead. They celebrate it November 1st and November 2nd. So, but I'm focusing on the Halloween. So basically, the Day of the Dead is the Halloween for the Mexicans. Even though we have some Mexican citizens here in the U.S. who participate in Halloween, but as a national holiday, their version of quote unquote Halloween is November 1st. Okay, it says uh, the time in dedicated or remember to the including saints, hallows, martyrs, and all the faithful departed. So they're basically saying the festivity of Halloween is purposely set to celebrate saints, martyrs, and all faithful who passed, right? And it says, check this out. They say one theory holds that many Halloween traditions may have been influenced by ancient Celtic harvest festivals, particularly the Gaelic festival, uh, Samhain, which may have had pagan roots, which may have pagan. This is interesting. See, they just say, oh, some theorists say he has. I'm like, don't you know the history of Christianity? They had wherever the quote unquote went to proselytize, they forced the pagans to adopt Christianity, and to ease the process, they will adopt the holiday and basically Christianize it. Where there's nowhere in the Bible where the Christ said, "Oh, you know what? Take holidays that are supposed to be for pagans and twist it up and you know add some sauce and make it to be mine." No, it says Halloween activities include trick or treating, art related, goozing and souling. Huh, wow. So it tell you trick or treat is a tradition Halloween costume for children and adults in some countries. In the evening before All Saints Day, children in costume travel from house to house asking for treat with the phrase trick or treat, so that you guys can do research on that history. Uh Mostly it says some Christian historically abstain from meat on All Hallows Eve, a tradition reflected in the eating of certain vegetarian foods on this vigil day, including apples, potato cakes, and soul cake. And yeah. Let me now go to the uh it says the word Halloween dates to about 1745 and is of Christian origin. The word Halloween means Saints' Evening. It comes from a Scottish term for All Hallows Eve. In Scot, the word Eve is even, and this is contracted to in. Over time, All Hallows Eve evolved to Halloween. Although the phrase All Hallows is found in Old English, All Hallows Eve is itself not seen until 1556. So there's a lot of history when it comes with this holiday. So I know there's a lot of information I'm trying to, rush in quick. and basically let y'all know what's going on, right? All right, let me continue. It says history. It says today's Halloween costume are thought to have been influenced by folks' customs and beliefs from the Celtic speaking countries, some of which are believed to have pagan roots. Jack Santino, a folklorist, writes that there was throughout Ireland an uneasy truce existing between customs and beliefs associated with Christianity and those associated with religions that were Irish before Christianity arrived. Historian Nicholas Rogers, exploring the origins of Halloween, notes that while some folklorists have detected its origin in the Roman feast of Pomona, huh? It says the goddess of fruits and seed, or in the festival of the day called Parantalia. Uh huh. Uh huh. It says it is more typically linked to the Celtic festivals of Samhain, which comes from the Old Irish for summons and. And it says Samhain was the first and most important of the 4 quarter days in the medieval Gaelic calendar and was celebrated on October 31st, November 1st in Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man. And it says a kindred festival was held at the same time of year by the Brittonic Celts called Calan Gaeth in Wales, Calan Guav in Cornwall, and Calan Goanth in Brittany. And it says a name meaning first day of winter. For the Celts, the day ended and began at sunset. It's funny because that's the same way with the Bible calendar. It's remember in the Genesis it says what? And there was an evening and a morning, thus were the first day. All in ancient time, since the beginning, the day began when the sun sets. Evening is the beginning of the day, and it ends in the evening. So, you know, what people will call midnight, right? The beginning of the next day. Well, according to the Enochian calendar and how the ancient Hebrews followed the calendar, and even in Iran, was when the sun goes down, that's the beginning of the next day, right? So it's interesting. When I saw this, I was, oh man, that's interesting. Thus, the festival began on the evening before 7 November by modern reckoning, the half point between equinox and solstice. Samhain and Galan Gath are mentioned in some of the earliest Irish and Welsh literature. The names have been used by historians to refer to Celtic Halloween customs until the 19th century and are still the Gaelic and Welsh name for Halloween. So, I mean, there's a lot of history. Now, I'm going to tell you the spirituality behind it, right? Because most of these holidays are pagan, straight up, right? Nowhere Halloween is not in the Bible. Sorry to tell you guys, it's not. Now let me go to Pomona, right? They mentioned her. Pomona was a goddess of fruitful abundance in ancient Rome, religion, and myth. Her name comes from the Latin word pomum, fruit, specifically orchard fruit. Pomona was said to be a wood nymph, and it says a nymph in ancient Greek folklore is a minor female nature deity. So everything revolves into what? The worship of fallen or Nephilims. Yeah. Tell you guys, you look, there's nothing new under the sun, and we live in the Western world and modern time. They try to make it seem like, oh, all these superstitions doesn't exist and all that stuff. But hey, be careful, be careful. Let me give you a background about her. It says in a myth, uh, well, let me not read the myth. Okay, it says Pomona was the goddess of fruit, trees, gardens, and orchards. Unlike many other Roman goddesses and gods, she does not have a Greek counterpart, though she is commonly associated with Demeter. She watches over and protects fruit trees, and cares for the cultivation. She was not actually associated with the harvest of fruits itself, but with the flourishing of the fruit tree. Like that's why I say she's the nymph of the forest. So she protected quote unquote trees according to that pagan belief, right? And speaking about the holiday, it says in ancient Rome, the Parentalia, or translation, ancestral days, was a 9-day festival held in honor of family ancestors, beginning on uh, February 13. Although the Parentalia was a holiday on the Roman religious calendar, its observance were mainly domestic and familiar. Yeah, so there's a lot of pagan deity, but okay, final. We're gonna go down to who? Samhain. Samhain was the character that we talked about, right? The holiday. Samhain. All right. It says Samhain is a Gaelic festival marking the end of the harvest season and beginning of winter or darker half of the year. It is held on November 1st, but with celebration beginning on the evening of October 31st, as the Celtic day began and ended at sunset. This is about halfway between the autumn equinox and winter solstice. It is one of the four Gaelic seasonal festivals, along with Imbolc, Beltane, and Lugnasa. Historically, it was widely observed throughout Ireland, Scotland, and the Isle of Man. A similar, basically, I read this one earlier. It says Samhain is believed to have Celtic pagan origins, and some Neolithic passage tomb in Ireland are aligned with the sunrise at the time of Samhain. It is first mentioned in the earliest Irish literature and is associated with many important events in Irish mythology. Now here's one thing that's interesting. This is the same information that's in my book of Pagan of Days. It says, listen to this. This is why I wanted to talk to you about this. It says, the early literature says Samhain was marked by great gatherings and feasts and was when the ancient burial mounds were open. See, that's what in Mexico they do that. They go and open the burials and day after day, and they basically celebrated their dead relative. And then it says, which were seen as portals to the other world. Pause. See, this is why I wanted to tell you. This whole celebration is the celebration of the gates of hell, quote unquote, how people refer to. When the spiritual realms gates or portal opens up, and there is what? Migration on both sides. And you know what's interesting today? What happened today? Sean Connery, the famous actor who played the character called James Bond, passed away at what? At the age of 90 years old. 90 is coding. It's 6 upside down. Nothing is a coincidence in this way, as I've told you. Isn't it interesting that he passes away on one of the most popular holidays of the world? You think it's just a coincidence? Right? Let me read you what the book of Pagan of Days says about this day, right? I read some of it earlier, like some of the information would be similar to what I just read you, right? It says the feast of Samhain marks the onset of a darker, more introspective time of year when access to the other world is easier than usual. The festival is also known as Halloween, when witches ride abroad. And then he got a song. It says, "Hey ho for Halloween, when all the witches are to be seen, some in black and some in green. Hey ho for Halloween." This is not new. This is like an old song. So some people will, oh, come on, man. Like, come on with your conspiracy. This book you can buy. It's called The Pagan Book of Days. I'll probably put a link in the description box so you guys can go and buy it yourself on Amazon. Yeah, it gives you a lot of holiday. And watch this. Let me read you the next holiday, right? November 1st. Let me go to the November section. I mean, I'm using the book right now, so be patient with me. Switching over to the next month. All right. Ah, November 1st. What does it say? Okay. It says Cross Quarter Day, Samhain, Festival of the Dead, third third station of the year, Calends of November, All Saints, was it Isia or Isia? The third station of the year, Awakening, is a time of letting go. When the seed falls to earth, Samhain is the beginning of winter in a natural year. All Saints' Day is the first day of the two Christian commemoration of the dead elevated to sainthood. See, this is all bogus. Nowhere in the scriptures. This is all made up. This is all Roman Catholic influence. As a continuation of Samhain, the eve of All Souls' Day begins at sunset when it is customary to light the bonfire known as Tinley fires, tinless or tindles. The theme of this week is memory of the dead, communication with the underworld. Wait, what? Communication with the underworld and purification for the future. This is this is what the billions of people are here, they're dressing up and all that stuff. And see, you know what's interesting? When I tell you Hollywood, sometimes they tell you the truth, but they hide it. There's a famous TV show that I used to watch called um, Supernatural, right? Where it talks about legends, scripture, it crosses over mythology. They talk about a lot of stuff, right? It's about monsters and everything. There was one episode where it was about Halloween, where there was a demon from hell was released, and he entered a man's body as a host. And when he was walking outside, its weaknesses on during Halloween when people wear masks, it's like it can't see you, like it gets blinded, like the mask blinds him. And so it's like they say the reason why you wear a mask so that this goblin you can't see him. That's why you wear a mask, right? That's the quote unquote legend that they have about this monster, right? So to me, I'm like, it's interesting. You know, some people watch that show, they be like, oh man, it's just a show. You know, what is it? It doesn't matter, right? But like I tell people, nothing is a coincidence. And uh, I'll talk about it on the next video because I don't want to take too much time. But guess what? In this book of holidays, the American election is what? November 3rd, right? Guess what? It's a pagan holiday. And I'll read it to you on the next video. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people. Hmm. Let me read you November 2nd. Okay, it says All Souls Day commemorates departed spirits not elevated to sainthood. Before becoming a church festival in there was a 998 Common Era CE, it was marked with celebrations from the festival of Odin, that was his name, I guess they called him, as god of the dead, parading the hardening wild horse and other guising, including mummers play enacting the mysteries of life, death, and rebirth. Ceremonial soul cakes were cooked and eaten on this day. So basically, guys, I'm just here to inform you about certain celebration that we participate that we have no idea about, right? So this is all to keep you informed so you won't be ignorant, right? Like the scripture says, my people suffer for lack of knowledge. Now that you know, hey, just remember when you're participating in this kind of stuff, remember what it is about. Know what it told you, but what it really is about. That's how Satan works. Deception. So when you're out there wearing masks and meeting other people, you don't have no idea. This is the time, like, I'll even take it further. This is a time when the gods can disguise themselves to walk amongst us. You're gonna be in a party and you think someone is in a costume. You have no idea who it is. And then you're gonna have people who will be interacting with dead spirits taking human form because like what did it say? It's the today is the day where the gate to the invisible is open. It's easier. And it's interesting on the report, it says today is gonna be a full moon. So I mean, all this, there's no coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence in this world, man. Nothing. So I think I've done enough rambling. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for more videos. Please, before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You know, I know I got some fancy stuff here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and peace out to all my listeners out there who've been supporting me from all over the world. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.